Ever thought about doing a Build a Nation save on Football Manager but struggled with how to go about it? Well, sort it out, SI have very kindly invited me to give you my top 5 tips on a Build a Nation save. Hi folks, Russ here, and as I mentioned in the intro, this is my top 5 tips for a Build a Nation save on Football Manager. Now, lists like this are always subject to opinion, so if you have any that you'd like to share or you disagree with mine, put them down in the comments section. With that done, let's jump into tip number 1. Tip number 1 is pick the right nation and the right league to begin with. You're going to be looking for a nation that doesn't have restrictive rules on signing players and registering them. Nations like Ireland, Poland or Hungary will be ideal for this because you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you find a wonder kid from Colombia, Mexico or Japan, but you can't register them because you've signed too many players already or you've registered too many foreign players in your squad. You'll also want to read up on the league rules as well for matchday squads. There might be restrictions for how many players are eligible to sit on the bench or actually be involved with the matchday squad. And in terms of picking your team, that's entirely up to preference. You could pick a team that's already at the top of the table and just winning loads of things, or you could start from the very bottom. It's entirely up to you. Tip number 2 is invest in youth. Like any Football Manager save, signing and developing young players will be vital to a Build a Nation save. Buying players before their 19th birthday will get them to be homegrown at club and will help you with future Champions League and league registrations. Not only should you sign young players, you should invest heavily in your youth recruitment and youth facilities. You're going to want to bring your own stars through, and if you've got top-notch facilities, they're going to reach that potential and become absolute superstars for your team and for the international level. I also suggest keeping these young players at your club for a minimum of 3 years before looking to loan them out. If you loan them out before that, they might not reach homegrown status. Tip number 3 is fostering a domestic growth policy. As your players fall down the pecking order or you just don't use them as much, try to move them on to domestic rivals to boost their squads and boost their chances of performing well in the continental competitions. This will also boost the coefficients ranking and the league ranking as well, and with the latter, that will bring more prize money into the league and the chances of the best players wanting to come to clubs within your nation of choice. You'll need to adopt the mentality of you're not just managing the club of your choosing, you're managing and influencing the destiny, outcome and fortunes of every club in that nation. And who knows, you may influence them to win the World Cup or an international competition. Tip number 4 is utilise the loan and transfer market. Now, as you become an absolute powerhouse, both economically and on the pitch, you want to spread that power throughout the league. Try to loan out your players domestically for 0 fees and you covering all the wages so that those teams can spend their money bringing other players into the league. I also suggest signing your rivals' best assets and then loaning them back as part of the deal. What do I mean by this? Well, let's jump into my Maribor save where I'm trying to get them to be the best team in the world and bring this nation of Slovenia up with them. So this is my save with Maribor then. You can find this one on YouTube. If you want to support the channel, it is FM Russ. Any sub, views, likes on the videos is hugely appreciated. We are trying to get ourselves up to 1,000 subs. We're at 600 at the moment. We're getting there, but we're getting there slowly. This is the only shameless plug that I am going to put for my channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at a domestic rival and sign their player. So let's go to Dom Zhao and go to their overview. And their key player is this guy here. He is a right back, 6 million to 7.4. So what we will do is we'll put an offer in for him. We will go at the top value of his, the top value of it, so 7.5 million. Part of that deal, we'll loan them back and we'll not add anything into the fee. So we'll make that offer, we'll go through, and hopefully that will be signed off by the team. So as you can see, they have accepted the offer, so we'll go into negotiations with the player. We'll finalise this deal. For a player like this, I would probably keep him at the club because he's 20 years old. He's quite a good player. But if we were to go with how else we do it, we go with a 2-year contract, just offer him like that. He wants the 4 years, so we'll finalise that deal there, and then he should come to us. Any other players that they have, I would suggest doing this. So we'll have a look at this young guy, 21 years old. We'll make an offer for him. Argument's sake, let's just give him £1 million, make that offer. Once that comes through, you won't give him a full contract, you'll give him, I don't know, like a year, and at the end of it he will then get released and hopefully picked up by the other clubs. So that's what I would suggest doing for any players you're going to loan in or buy in from the other clubs. You just loan them back. That's their best asset. You don't want to take that away from them, but you also want to give them money. Do that and you should be good for the league. My fifth and final tip for a Build a Nation save is be prepared for a long save. Build a Nation saves aren't one that are done in 5 seasons. It could take 20 seasons for it to see the shift of power, and 15 seasons for you to see some rewards for your efforts like Champions Leagues and other competitions. Build a Nation saves are a fun and alternative way to play Football Manager. It gets you to think strategically and have a clear vision of how you're going to build this nation. Trust me, seeing your selected nation and all the sides in there compete for the big competitions year in, year out is so rewarding. So there you have it, folks, my top 5 tips for a Build a Nation save on Football Manager. I hope you find these useful and I hope you find the save fun. Thank you Sort Out SI for having me on, and who knows, you might see me in the future. Thanks for watching, folks.